Walking into Tami's salon in Rexburg is like walking into the giant heart of its owner.
I put my name on it because I knew I can control my image, and the industry's kind of messed up, and so not everybody that you hire can necessarily have good standards, but I knew I always would. So I put my name on it that's the only reason. I can control its identity because I know I'm not going to do something like extremely stupid.
Tami Hymas is a business owner and a hairdresser, but she is so much more, and she wants her clients to know that they are too.
Because the world is beautiful and they don't know it. And I love when I can get a mom in my chair, or a girl that's never seen her true self, or a man who's always had his mom cut his hair his whole life, and I just take them and I can see them more. And when I just shape them the right way and they look back at themselves, they feel better. And if we get just like 3 seconds to spoil someone, it can change so many lives because their buckets are full.
Rewind a few years back to 1993, and Tami had no idea she would own a salon. Her path to where she is now started on a conventional road, but took a dramatic turn.
I went to school because my parents were like, you have to go to college. You're super smart. You got to go to college. So I went to college. But when I got married, I told my husband, I'm like, I just want to do hair. I just love it. He's like, yeah, go ahead. And so I went to hair school. And once I got into hair school, I'm like, I'm going to own a salon. And when I got people in my chair, I could see changes started happening. And I'm like, no, I'm going to do more. I'm going to help people. I'm going to take this and I'm going to teach the world they're beautiful because they just don't know.
Anyone who meets Tami quickly realizes she always has a smile. It's something she kept on her face despite a tough year with many trials. She says her trials have led her to where she is.
But this last year, I broke my leg. And when I broke my leg, I actually stopped. And I stopped spinning. And I just stopped. And then my world fell apart. And my kidneys started shutting down. And I was throwing up so profusely and had extreme vertigo. And my epilepsy made me in a wheelchair. And I had to have babysitters. And I wanted so desperately to have control of my brain. And then one day I woke up and the spinning was gone. And I sat there and I realized my leg was healed and I could still use my hands and I still had a talent and my heart never stopped beating. And I realized that the gift of life is precious. And I couldn't sleep all that night. I was so overwhelmed with everything, and that's when I came up to beUtofullness. Actually, I just want the world to know they're beautiful. Seriously, if I can just tell you, you're beautiful. Stop looking at the flaws and start looking at the people that love you.
Tami believes that it's all about your heart and the process of change.
Compliments are about the shell, but compliments do something to a heart. And if a heart is confident, regardless what the shell looks like, if a heart is confident and knows it's loved and believes in itself, that's when change happens. People are always like, oh, you're going to be better. No, that implies you were bad before. And what got you to this point is awesome. And then what takes you from this point and takes you there is your more.
Tami has had such a crazy ride while building her salon, but it's her dream, so she went for it.
I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was raising my kids, and I needed to go back to work. And so I thought, okay, I'll go back to work. And I was applying to other salons, and it just felt wrong. And then it said salon for sale, so I bought it. So I went from a stay-at-home mom to owning a salon because it's my dream, so why not, right? And as I opened the salon, 1 month later, I gave to the veterans because I'm free. I am a woman, and I opened a business. And so it's Veterans Day. It's why I'm free. And I had to give back to them. So Aaron Kuhn said, why don't you come be on the radio and tell them about giving the veterans a free cut? I'm like, okay. So I went down there and I did my interview and they asked me to be a weekly segment. So that was 1 month into opening the salon.
One of the things she fights through is epilepsy, which has created 3 brain lesions located in the language and short-term memory part of her brain. Because of this, she struggles to read and write. Her doctors have told her she reads and writes at a 3rd grade level. So after starting her salon, she was surprised by an offer from a local newspaper.
2 months later, I had done the veterans thing, and the paper, Standard Journal, came in and interviewed me. And as the Standard Journal was interviewing me, he says, you need to write a column. And I'm like, I am not writing a column. I've been to UCLA Hospital. I have a broken brain. I'm not writing a column. I ended up writing a column. A professor up on campus, his name's Jack, and he said, Tami, you're an author. And I'm like, I am not an author. And he's a professor. I'm like, you make me want to puke. You're a professor of English. Like, that just hurts my brain so bad. I've never even read a whole book. And he's like, no, you need to like write a book. You're an author. And we would joke. He's like, you're published. I'm like, in a paper. Like, I'm okay.
But getting Tami to do the book wasn't an easy thing. Jack had to do the same thing to Tami that Tami does to her clients.
So with my clients, I change their look. And they'll look in the mirror and they're not really comfortable or confident with themselves. So I say, if you get one compliment on this new look, that equals 1 day of change. And so, and then you have the courage to do this new look for 1 more day. And per every compliment from a different person is 1 more day of change. So he did that to me about my column. And I ended up getting 2 compliments. So I had to have enough integrity to actually type to the English professor and send him all my columns. And they talked me into putting it into a book.
This is a passion and a mission that often takes her away from her family. She doesn't like always being away, but she knows her passion for her message will help carry her through.
I miss time with them, but the time I get is super efficient, effective, and riddled with love. And I treasure it. It hasn't been easy, but it's been wonderful.
Through everything, Tami has learned so much and has a wonderful message she hopes to share with the world.
I'm an epileptic, so when I was 12, I would have seizures and they wanted to hide me, like they wanted to protect me. And for like a week, and my mom's like, Tami's just dwindling. And she's like, okay, Tami, you're gonna be in pain. You either can live in pain or suffer in pain, but you're gonna be in pain. I learned to live in pain and fight for more. Believe in yourself. Like, seriously. Like, stop with the insecurities. Stop with thinking the world owes you. Stop with fighting over things that none of us chose. You didn't choose your body. You didn't choose what's broken with it. You didn't choose what's good with it. You didn't choose where your fat goes. And you didn't choose that your skin's going to drop with age. You just didn't choose any of it. But you do get to choose what you do with it. If you do good with it, if you lift, if you empower, if you take what you're good at and make it more, then you become angels, and then you lift and help others.
Reporting from Rexburg, I'm Rachel Sandy, Upper Valley, Idaho.